Finding high-ticket dropshipping suppliers is a key to have fast shipping times, quality products, happy customers, and a sustainable business you can run for years. This is the exact process I followed to generate 5.5 million in sales with high-ticket dropshipping, and you can also follow this process to find these suppliers, contact them, and begin working with them. Let's jump right into the video, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. So first of all, we're going to power up google.com. And one of the best ways to find suppliers is just to strictly go to Google. And if you're looking for suppliers for some of the products that you're selling, I recommend high ticket suppliers just because they're higher quality, fast shipping times, quality products, and they have a brand name to them. So if you're not doing high ticket dropshipping, I recommend you kind of transition your journey to high ticket dropshipping. So for example, if you're selling high ticket products, for example, like fireplaces, you would just search fireplace onto Google, and then all you need to do is head over to the shopping tab. The very first way to find suppliers is going onto Google Shopping and heading over to the brand section. So over here we have about 7 suppliers. We have Southern Enterprise, Majestic, Superior Fireplaces. You get the point. So these are the suppliers that we want to work with. So how do you find them? All you need to do is just search that brand up on the Google, and if you are getting results such as, like, this is Desk, this is another company, you want to obviously look for the brand that produces these fireplaces. So if you want to just type in fireplace into the search result, you'll get the exact brand, and sometimes you might not be able to find it right away, and that's completely fine. And some suppliers are not going to be available, or they might not have their own website. So in this instance, Southern Enterprises Fireplaces doesn't really seem to have a supplier website, which is pretty interesting because most of these suppliers do. So if I click on a retailer, this is a retailer, you can see that this store sells brands. You can see the brand section. When I click on Southern Enterprises, it seems like there's no products for under this brand. This could mean this brand went out of business, or this brand no longer in production. So we'll skip this brand for now. But what you ideally want to do is just to put down all these brands into a spreadsheet, and then put in all the information pertaining to brands. So for example, if we type in Majestic Fireplace, we can see here is the supplier's website, majesticproducts.com, and all you need to do is head over down to the bottom and then look for a contact us section. So it says where to buy. This could give us some clues, but homeowner support, common questions, parts and support. So this is a portal you could potentially fill out, but at the same time, if you can't find the contact information, there are tools such as Apollo that you can use to plug in the supplier's website, and it will find the decision maker's contact information. So for example, if I were to use Apollo, all you need to do is head over to a free Apollo plan. All you need to do is just type in the brand name, and in this case it is Majestic Fireplaces, and head over to the People's tab. Not sure why my account is kind of acting up. So if you go to Apollo, most of the times you can find the decision maker, but in this case there are no people for Majestic Fireplaces. So what I would do is I would try to look on LinkedIn to see if you can find a decision maker's contact information, or what you can do is you can obviously fill out this contact us page that they have on their website, but any place where you can find decision maker, for example Majestic Fireplaces LinkedIn, that would be some places where you can take a look. So we can see this could potentially be training manager Majestic Fireplaces, not logged in, but I would try to contact them via one way. So you speak to Terry, and then Terry might be able to find you someone else that is actually the decision maker. So that's the good thing about this business model, is like there's a lot of ways you can enter into a brand because there's not just one person to talk to. So that is exactly how you talk to decision makers. Is you just find them up on Google, and then find it is anyone that works at them. Just give them your pitch and see if they will work with you. I have a video on my channel that will give you my exact supplier script that you can use to close suppliers that way. And besides that, there's also another way to find suppliers, which is going onto Google and clicking on some of these competitors that are selling some of these brands. So we can see that this competitor, North Country Fire, is selling this fireplace right now. And they also typically have a section that says brands, where you can see all the different brands that they carry. But this one does not, which is not completely, you should not just skip over it, because you can see the brand name in here. So we have Empire, which is going to be most likely the fireplace brand name. So Empire Fireplaces, you can see is right here, Empire Comfort Systems. So this is another brand that you can add to your spreadsheet to potentially contact. And with this brand right here, they have a clear contact us page. You can see here's the portal. You can send them a message that way. But at the same time, I would also put in extra effort and try to find a decision maker via Apollo or LinkedIn. So for a brand like Empire Comfort Systems, you can see if you put in LinkedIn, you can find people, and then you can see the decision makers. So I would probably start with one of these, such as there's 110 employees at this company, but I would start with like the head of e-commerce, VP, president, co-president, and any type of manager. Vice president would be a great person to contact. So there's a lot of ways you can find contact information for this brand, especially there's 110 employees for this brand. And all you need to do is just contact one and find a decision maker that does or is in charge of the e-commerce department. And then all you do is just pitch them to become a dealer to sell their products. So that's exactly how you find suppliers. Relatively easy. All you need to do is just head over to Google Shopping, type in your product that you want to sell. Example, fireplaces, find a brands here, search that up onto Google and find their contact us information and contact them to become a dealer. And another way is to look at competitors that sell fireplaces, and you can find these brand right here, like Buy Superior. If you go to, like a collection page, you can also see manufacturer. These are all brands: Napoleon, Osborne, Majestic. These are all brands that you can add to your list and contact them and start working with them to sell their fireplaces. So that's the two ways I recommend to find these high ticket dropshipping suppliers. Very easy. It's not really hidden at all. And you just need to put in some manual effort to find these suppliers. Next, after you find these suppliers, we want to work with the best ones. Now, if you have a niche store, which is what I recommend, where you're selling a specific niche of products like this store, Fireplaces Direct, they're only specializing in fireplaces, I would not really care much about criteria. But if you have a store that's selling a lot of random products, I don't know why you would, but if you are doing that, here are some criteria that I generally like to look at. First, it's going to be branded demand. And brand demand is just how many people are searching that brand up on Google every single month. So a free tool like Uber suggests, you can just go to keyword idea section and just type in the brand name. So we can see Empire Comfort Systems and Empire Fireplaces that pertains to the brand. And you can see how much volume there is for some of these products. So this isn't too important at all, but this kind of gives you an idea of how much branded demand there is for a supplier. And the more branded demand, generally the better, but there are other criteria that we also like to look at. Another one is going to be minimum advertised price, aka MAP. And a good way to kind of know what MAP is, for example, if we're taking that brand, Empire Fireplaces, for example, and heading over to the shopping tab, MAP stands for minimum advertised price. And all that means is that another retailer that's selling the same product cannot be undercutting you on price. For example, we can see this Empire Fireplace right here. if we click on compare prices, we can see that this brand most likely has MAP because most of these sellers are all selling at $22.55. There are some retailers like this one, Bella Flame, Royal Fire Pits, that are under that pricing, Tri-State Fireplaces. Maybe they are purposely violating it, or they might be accidentally violating it. But generally, I see that this brand most likely has MAP because most of the sellers that are selling at $22.55. Now, once you secure the supplier as a supplier you can sell, I would report these companies that are undercutting you on price. They're under the minimum advertised price set by the brand. So this is a good indication of how to see if a brand has MAP or not MAP. So MAP is something you definitely want, and I would realistically, if you have a lot of suppliers to call, start with the ones that have MAP because those are usually higher quality. Next is going to be price point. So price point is also an important one, but it's not something you can control. This is something you want to look at. If the price point of some suppliers are relatively low, it could just mean that they're probably on a cheaper end in terms of the market, and those products may sell better than the higher priced ones, but at the same time they might be harder to work with or difficult to work with. So generally, I like to see brands that are higher price, means that they're a premium brand in the marketplace. Usually the products are very high quality and you don't really have to deal with much issues if there are any for that product type. Next, and the fourth criteria that I look at is going to be competitiveness. And you can see that this brand has about 10 plus seller across most listings. And this brand is relatively not, I mean, it's competitive, but it's not like it's super competitive to the point where I would not sell the brand. So you can see from most of these listings, they're about 5 to 10 plus sellers per one. And, there's 2 pages of these. Yes, this is somewhat competitive. The fireplace niche is, there's a lot of sellers in this niche, but that does not mean you can't make this work. You just need to take a small fraction of the pie and you can still do really well for yourself. So with that being said, those are the 4 criteria that I look at: brand demand, minimum advertised price, high price point, and competitiveness. Now, if it's your first time, with your niche store that you're contacting suppliers, I would really not look at any of the criteria besides MAP. Just start calling the MAP suppliers first and then call the not MAP suppliers later. And honestly, you don't really even need to look at any of these criteria. If you're trying to go for speed, just try to close as many as possible. Then, after you close some suppliers, you can determine which ones you want to prioritize uploading first. So with that being said, those are the 4 criteria and how to find high ticket dropshipping suppliers. Relatively straightforward. Any questions, drop them down in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.